Hello, everybody, and welcome to Space Engineers, the Stellar Garage. I'm Duke Skyloper, and today, some of you may recognize the ship that we're going to be working on today. This is the Eagle 5 from the series Distant Stars about a year ago. Built it on the Keen servers and then lost it on the Keen servers. So we're going to finally finish it. That's the plan for today. Or at least we'll see how far we get. Ray, Rumblestrip, hey Ajir, how's it going? How's it going? Rumblestrip, sorry to hear about your dream ending. I wish you good dreams in the future. Ajir, welcome. Can you believe it? I actually caught your stream from beginning to end today. Beginning to end. I couldn't believe it. It just worked out perfect with my commute that I could just kind of hang out the whole time. So, this is the Eagle 5. Now, this blueprint is not entirely up to date, so we may have to make a couple of changes to it. So, if you didn't get to watch my series Distant Stars, like when it was airing like a year ago, I was on Keen's public servers, and I built this ship in space. I was working on it. It was supposed to be my, it was going to be lightly armed, but mostly just like my home away from home kind of a traveling ship. And I lost it when another player found my location and blew it up while I was on stream. So there was like a little bit of a stream sniping happening, and then they used the carcass of my ship to bypass my friend's safe zone and destroy all of his stuff as well, which led to a bit of a feud going on for a bit. So, so the original purpose of this ship was we were going to fly it from planet to planet to planet and drop welcome beacons out the bottom of it onto each planet. And we designed the welcome pod, and the welcome pod lands on the planet. It activates a max length antenna that just tells you to come over to it, and the whole point of it was actually to test out the was it signals, or I think it was the signals update, right? Because it was the broadcast emitter and stuff. We were testing all of that stuff, so when you got close to it, it would send you a message telling you welcome, basically. And it was supposed to be just a fun little goal to get to, and we were going to drop one on every single planet. And then when we realized that as soon as I start streaming, a group of people immediately start trying to figure out where I am and track me down and destroy me, we lowered the bar to only the big planets. And we ended up, since this ship got lost, I ended up building a much smaller purpose-built ship, which was essentially a hangar with a jump drive, basically, and then a bunch of guns on it. And we ended up using that to drop all of the welcome pods. So, this is the back. This is where I was in the process of mapping out what the hangar would look like back here. Like, this was I have this much space before the thrusters damage the thing. But one thing that some people may forget, and I indeed also forgot, I did not read the dev diary today. Actually, I didn't get a chance. Was there anything? Let me know what was good in there. I'm going to open this up and bring this over. So I went back to the stream and remembered that we had, I guess that doesn't get any bigger. Before, the day before it was destroyed, I went onto the server off stream and painted the whole thing black and purple. And also redesigned the bridge. So this was the redesigned bridge. The name of the episode was Bridge Expansion Project. And the idea was that we were this was like my attempt at making the inside look good. And then we were going to figure out what to do with the outside. And it was supposed to extend back, like the whole bridge was supposed to extend back and over the drop pod area. And then we were going to figure out how to make this all look nicer. So I'm going to try to redo some of this, but I didn't really like how it turned out. So we'll do something a little bit different. There's also a lot of new, blocks. Maybe not a lot. There's a handful of new blocks that didn't exist at the time. So we can use those. So you can see it was, had some purple. We're not going to use the same color scheme. We'll use a different one, but here's some more shots of it, and then this is what the inside of the bridge looked like before it was blown up. I'd added these things, redone the roof, and then somewhere around here, I think maybe right here, we ended up making a hallway that went back so that you could walk back there. So that's what the bridge ended up looking like. And there were dead engineers all over the place because one of the guys I was playing with, none of your business, would also occasionally find where my ship was stashed and just leave dead engineers all over the place. So, yeah. And that was just about a year ago, because I am preparing to go on my annual 2-week vacation to the middle of nowhere, which the last time that happened was in the middle of distant stars, and I had to find a nice, safe place for the ship and allow it to sit for 2 straight weeks, unattended, and it was fine. So, okay, so the dev diary talked about the gameplay loop. It's interesting. I'll have to read that. I know the last one, or maybe it was the newsletter, talked about the way how they're going to have like multiple tiers of components. So it's basically like the ores go straight to basic components, and some of them you can make in your backpack, and some will have to be made in a smelter, which is kind of like the basic assembler, basic refinery combination thing, but there's no ingot stage. Although it did look like a lot of the basic components were essentially ingot-ish. And then you combine those in different ways into more complex components, which is something you could technically do in Space Engineers 1, and I think like Industrial Overhaul kind of does that. But we'll see. I thought that was really interesting. And then you get, bigger. I think I mentioned this on my Discord when the thing came out, but that I thought it was a really good balance of like, it's more complex than Space Engineers 1, because Space Engineers 1 is easy in that sense of like, you just throw ore in this thing and then you use an assembler to make stuff, and that's it. Having that progression, I thought the number of stages that they have planned out is just the right amount, and something like Industrial Overhaul was like way too many, in my opinion. It was way too much stuff. So, but yeah, what did they reveal? The goal will be to colonize Almagest sector by sector. Oh, that's actually a really cool idea. I know they had talked about colonization at one point. So is my gravity still working? Yeah. All right, so it looks like the bridge in here, the layout was mostly unchanged. I replaced these things with beam blocks. We don't have to do the exact same thing, but like right here, I think is where we punched through to go back. And some of this I don't really want to be mirrored, but being out in space and flying around this thing is it's giving me like kind of flashbacks to being on the server, and like every time I was here, I was like looking over my shoulder and waiting for the if I saw the streaming little logo at the bottom, I knew that another player was close and I needed to hurry up and jump out of there. But we will not have to worry about this. So my goal with this ship, by the way, I didn't even finish my original thought about it. So the goal is going to be, let me adjust my chair to get comfy. The goal is no longer going to be to create a bay in the back to drop pods. Instead, the back is going to be more of like a cargo bay kind of thing. It's just going to have a door, and it'll have an area where we could maybe dock a ship in it or something, a fighter, I don't know. I also want to do the original plan of taking the bridge and extending it back over whatever I build back here, so that I can do stuff like having additional cryopods in the back and stuff. I do have a cryopod in here, right? Yeah, right there. So that was my cryopod. And I think, actually, let me see. Does it still... Oh, yeah, there we go. Yep. Whenever I would get in the cryopod, the ship would go into low power mode and lock down so that I could leave it on the server and not have to worry about it running out of power. So, hey, Game Dork, how you doing? So that's going to be the plan for today. We're going to try to... also, now I'm debating because this front dock area here is actually designed for the Go-Getter to park. The ship that we were working on last time, but just the space version of it. And the Go-Getter has a specific... in fact, this is still the color scheme of it. The Go-Getter has a specific color scheme, and I was wondering if it would make sense to use the same color scheme on here, and I kind of think so. Do I have both of the colors on the palette? I don't. Let me spawn a Go-Getter real quick. Let's see, this is the J. Let me do this one. Doesn't really matter which one. Alright. So we could turn everything on here. Alright, cool. So that's designed to be plugged in to the front there. And then we would normally have the mining drills on it. So let me grab this color and just put a block right there so that I can... actually, I don't know why I'm bothering with that. Just change the color palette right there. Okay, so if we were to take the main color and then... let's see, actually, maybe I'll put this color over here. Yes, I know. Micromanaging my colors now. Then on this one, we'll grab this color. Yeah, there we go. And I can just do that. Alright. So that... Did that give the... That doesn't seem to have given the... Oh, you know why? Because it's the wrong texture. That's right. It is going to be the digital camouflage. There we go. There we go. Alright, so if we did that and then put some blue accents all over it, I think that actually kind of looks okay. It looks a little bit more military. But not different enough, so I think it'll be okay. Thanks, Ajir. Thanks for hanging out. Enjoy your night. So we'll worry about the rest of the colors later, but I think we'll just match it to the Go-Getter for now. So let's, before I mirror this thing, which I did not have when I was on the server, thankfully. Maybe not thankfully, but so right here, there we go. So that's our hallway that's going to go back past the fish tank there, and then the rest of this will extend back. So I think at this point, I will do a mirroring right there. Okay. So let's see. Should I redo the? I guess I probably should redo the front before I redo the back, just so that I know what we're gonna be pulling back. Let me get my picture back up here so I can kind of remember what it looked like. I'm gonna put that on the other screen so I can look at it. I don't want to do the exact same thing with the top, but I do kind of like the way the windows ended up with the bridge windows. So I think I'm going to try and keep that. I don't know how much stuff is going to fall off of this when I... Oop, there we go. As I do this, but we'll see. I've already separated these windows. Alright, then we got some plates up here. That's a window. I did kind of like that thing right above my head as like a, you know, kind of its own little like If I'm stressed, I could just be like, and I could just look up the ceiling, but, you know, I don't get stressed. So let's see. Do I still want to do... honestly, I think the main problem with it was the ramps just being way too tall. And I think that was... I intended that to look better once the whole thing extended back. You know, where look at this, like these ramps being a full block up, and I had hoped that once this extended further back, this wouldn't look as goofy, like you have like some sort of weird double mohawk going on. But so I'm gonna try to avoid that. So let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of what are... Yeah, let's get rid of these. These are all just floating in space now. Alright, let's look at what our window situation is going to be here. So we got the bridge windows. I still want to use those. We have more bridge windows available to us now, though, which is nice. So I think what I did before was basically put these on the front. Went around... Yeah, real simple, just kind of went around it. Like this. Now the nice thing about doing this is I automatically have this. You can't just turn my headlights on. You automatically have that. Come on, mouse. We have this like automatic break of armor here, so it's not just like windows all the way up anymore. So if I wanted to do like a flat armor piece there and then transition to windows, when I have a bridge, I like to have some visibility looking up. Like we could enclose this entire thing if we wanted to, but I like to have some ability to look up. And even if it was just the center row, that would be fine with me. But on the original, I did center and then these two side ones. You know, so it was like window, no window, window, no window, window. And I also know, you know, at some point someone left a comment on one of my videos and they said, you move the mouse around too fast. You're like constantly looking around too fast. And you know, at the time I was like, I'm kind of doing that because I'm on a server, and usually when I would do it, it would be like, is there anyone over there? Is there anyone over there? Is there anyone over there? But also I realized after a while that like I kind of do it all the time. So I've been working on not doing that so much and trying to be like, I even actually turned the sensitivity on my mouse down a bit after that. But I bring that up because when I was watching this episode to get these screenshots, it was before I had gotten that comment, and I was like, watching it, I was like, oh my god, I am just shooting that mouse around all over the place. So, do I want to keep that like that? So, which blocks do we have? Which window blocks do we have now that we didn't used to have? We have this now. We could... Actually, we might have had that before too. But we could have gone... We could have gone out further with it. Ooh, actually. Let's see, that would mean we couldn't put... Well, we were going to go out one anyway. I don't remember how the inside actually worked with this thing being here, because these were out. Let's see. Slope. Yeah, that's all we got. Okay. These were like... Oh, yeah, I think that's what we did, is it just kind of ended right here. And, like, it ended... My mouse keeps freezing up on me. Hang on. This is not the game freezing, it's my mouse freezing. I don't know if that's like a Bluetooth thing or what. But, I think what I had... I'm trying to look at the picture, but I think it's roughly something like... something like... this at the end, but probably not that exact shape, but you know, you get the idea. It would be like then this would go and just end like that there. So I could continue to do that, and then fill in that corner piece there. And then we would still have it angling out like that up to there, which is not bad. I like that. You get that nice big view. The other option is we do this and then this, and then what would I do there? So I was originally thinking then I could do just flat windows straight back, but I feel like I'm already too far out from where I need to be. But I could... We could make this thing... We could get rid of this corner console. Have fewer consoles, like essentially move this corner console to here. Or not even have one. Let's get rid of these. Let's get rid of these end bits and see what happens here. I don't think they really had a purpose, but let's get rid of that. So what if we did this instead? What if we got rid of you? Oh yeah, makes sense. Can't put you there. You. And then instead of that one, we did this. So that it's not quite so square. Still a little bit square. But then we can get rid of this and have the one by one. You can pause YouTube, Game Dork. You can pause my live stream and come back. YouTube lets you do that. It just you'll be behind when you come back. That's all. So if we did something like that. Something like that on the front. I think that ends up looking a little bit better than what I had, which was basically just this 45-degree angle, or I guess that's 90 degrees if you count both of them, going all the way around. And then, are you just... Okay. So I wouldn't be able to put anything right there, but I would be able to put stuff up against here if I wanted to. So then what we do is grab the normal 1x1 windows here. And on the outside, well, we could even put something here to help hold it on if we wanted to. Just do boop, boop, and then that might give us... we'll flatten this part out here too. This will be... I'm not going to lose my roof, right? No. So this is kind of the same process I went in last time, which was start at the front, work your way back, and then fix the shape as you go. What is that? That's the door, or is that the door? Why does this block look different? What are you? Which side is the door? That's the door. So what's on this side? What are you? That's this thing. Okay, that's fine. One thing I always liked about this model that I always kind of forgot about was the fact that it was always gray, but it has blue lights on it. So the texture looks, like the ship looks blue, but it is 100%, well, I guess not 100%, but mostly gray. So making it this color gray with the pattern on it doesn't really change much. I like making ships that are white or gray and then coloring them with their lights. I think that, I don't know, I think it looks cool. So, now what are we going to do with this? So we could do, I'm going to have to make sure, I have a vent in here, right? No, actually I probably don't, because I didn't have an airlock, so we probably never pressurized this, which is fine. Ooh, you know what? I had lights for the status of different things. Actually, I don't even remember what green and blue were for. But I had lights for status, and I could just have one status light now. That's nice. Oh, yeah, actually, I'm also wondering, what did I have in the inventory when I took this blueprint? A lot of silicon, a little bit of uranium, a little bit of gold, a little gravel, a bunch of components, some money that I never deposited, even though I have an ATM. Yeah, a little bit of uranium. Okay, well, there we go. You want a replacement left leg? Psh, you and me both. Actually, it's really my right knee that's been killing me. But I wish. Okay, so last time, I want to say I put the... Well, okay, so here's what I had on the inside. And I'm just going to leave these on this color, and we could recolor the beams later. But I did here like this, and this was just to kind of like hold up the roof, whatever the roof was going to be. And then I intended right here to put an interior turret. It was such going back and watching that stream was really funny, because I was like, this was the stream where I was like, at the beginning I was talking about, all right, we got to put guns on it. We're going to put an interior turret in it in case anyone ever comes in and tries to sit in the seat, you know. And then, like, I don't know, 20 minutes later, the ship's under attack and someone takes control of it and starts flying it around. And I was like, if I had done the weapons first and not not tried to do the pod bay, things might have turned out a little bit differently. I'm not going to say a lot differently, because I probably still would have lost, but a little bit differently. So I do still like the idea of having beams in the middle of the ship, like this, kind of holding the roof up. Yeah, I will say that was probably one of my most memorable streams, was the one where NG first attacked me. Because I was honestly at a loss for what to do, but it turned out okay. When you say you sorta pierced your shin, do you mean like you really, like, not just sorta, but like you really pierced your shin and now they're trying to sew you up, basically? Trying to figure out how to plug it up? Because that sucks. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how I even did this, because right up here was where the ramps were on the original. Then we had... Oh yeah, then we had window, and then we had the end. So, I mean, I could just put flat armor paneling over it, but I do kind of want to raise the roof a little bit, if you know what I mean. Oh, it's still in there. Oh. Best of luck to you, Rumble Strip. That sounds awful. You're gradually becoming a cyborg now. Can I... Let's see. So I could do... Yeah, that kind of matches in that direction. But I don't think I don't have anything that could go up. And obviously I can't put anything there. So I think anything we do has to kind of end... I think we should be able to do half blocks. I think we did the full blocks. I did the full blocks originally to be able to put lights on top. Actually, I don't even remember. I think half block armor on top of this area would be fine. Right? Like I could do... I could even put like a little hat on it. Like this, or I could do the, like, well, not you, but I guess it would be in this one. Yeah, this thing. So if we did that and went up to half blocks, then we could gradually transition up to full slopes. I think maybe that's what we're going to end up doing. So... Maybe we'll go to here. And then we'll do a whole lot of half slopes. Or half, not half slopes, half armor. Where are you, half armor? I know I saw you. There you are. I don't know, it sounds like you kind of got a little bit of a minor Wolverine thing going on there. Like, you know, like you say, someone kicks you in the shin, they're going to hurt more, or at least as much as you, so. See if they can put, like, metal rods everywhere in all of your bones. You know, give you some, like, claws that pop out or something. Okay, so at this point, I have covered the entire roof. Do I like that idea? Or do I want to go and do the window? I think I would do... I was really preoccupied with putting a center window before, and I think that was my downfall. So I think what we're going to do, I'm going to plop that there just to connect it. I think what I'm going to do is do the window... Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, do the window here. Ooh. What if... What if we went... We could kind of make this look a little bit aggressive here. Hold on a second. Okay, what if we went and did like some... How big of a window can I do? I can only do... Let's see, because last time the windows were here and not on here. But that's okay. We could go... Okay, sorry about that noise. That was my thinking slurp. We could go... we could do a half slope up too, actually, to a full. Nah, let's not. Let's not. I need the 1x2s as well. So I think I want to go here and then there. Isn't there? Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. Right there. So that'll kind of seal that up. So we'll have like a little bit of a lump profile there. And then in the middle, we could start... no. Maybe right there. Yep. Mm-hmm. And then just do some paneling for the remainder. There we go. I think that looks a lot better. It kind of looks meaner, like it's got angry eyebrows. I should, yeah, I'm kind of an idiot. Hang on a second. What if we rotate this so that the sun shines on the parts that we're working on? Huh? How about that? There we go. I'm going to shut my headlights off. Yeah, so anyway, now it kind of looks like it's got like, almost like angry eyebrows a little bit. You know? Maybe even this part here could continue to be this for a little bit. Yeah, like that. I like this. I like where this is going. What does that look like from the inside? Oh, yeah. That looks good. I guess my headlights are still on. My headlights. Yeah, that looks that looks good. And then I could still put Gatling turret, interior turret type. Interior style turret, we could still put... I was thinking of putting it there, but actually this feels like it's less likely to go flying off of here, so... Interior turret right there, even though this feels... Okay, good, it's gonna look around a little bit. Having it pointing straight at my head just feels a little awkward, but as long as it's not always pointing directly at my head, I think I'll be okay. Yeah. That way, you know, you come in, you know, let's say you sneak in and you're like, I don't see any turrets, I don't see anything. I'm going to look over here. I don't see anything. This looks like a big empty room. All right, I'm going to go in. Oh, I'm dead. So, there we go. That is there. I've got inset lights right here. We had those at the time. Okay, so we'll repaint these. I do like how they almost look, they look like they're holding up nothing. Maybe I should put the line on the windows right here. Let me try that. I think that would look better. A lot of the cool blocks came right at the very end of when I was building this, so some of them snuck their way in. Yes. Unable. Unable or unwilling. There we go. So if we put that line there in the front, I bet that looks better from the inside. Yeah, that looks better from the inside. Just feels nicer having that bar at the end of the thing. So that's cool. And then you could look up through there and everything. I like it. I like it. And then we'll paint those a different color later during the painting phase. So that basically concludes our bridge reconstruction. Turned out better than the original for sure. And then what I want to do on the top is start to transition toward actual... I don't even know what to do with it at the moment, but let's get rid of all this. Yep, I just separated that. Let's get rid of that, get rid of that. That will probably also extend back. We can get rid of this here. So basically this is going to be a hallway coming back, and it will lead down somehow. It'll go over the where we're stuffing all of the refineries and everything. So you got to remember, this was originally like my only ship. It was my only everything. And so it was like I had to stuff everything into here. You know, refinery, the assembler's down in there, everything is in here. And it is uranium powered. So, and these are the, in case anybody remembers from last stream when I was talking about it, these mag plates are for the go-getters. It's bits, you know, it's tool bits, so it can hold up to 2 here. Like you would attach one and then you would go to the other one and grab... Oh, I hadn't even moved both sides yet. Oh no. Oh no, this is where it originally was, and then we decided that was stupid and moved it back to here. How is there anything else that's asymmetrical about this? There is. Oh yeah. This whole side is was never in the blueprint, was never updated to match the other side. We've got a little bit more work to do. It's not too bad. I basically just had to drop this down by half so that we can come in here. So it can hold. Basically, it can have one additional attachment because you need to be able to attach one and then go get the other one. So yeah, I guess we'll do this real quick. I kind of had to build large grid on the server because I needed the jump drives. All right, let me turn off the mirroring for a minute here. That is that button, I believe. Was there something else? I feel like this was actually a pain to do, but was it a pain? I feel like I just go like that. Build out this thing, stick a light on it, and then move these back. I guess we could... Oh, I am almost certainly going to replace these fireworks launchers with weapons, by the way. I feel like those are not the best use of space. Come on, mouse. Why is the mouse doing this? This was temporary, I think. Or maybe this was supposed to be the bottom... a bottom dock at some point. Oh, I needed to... Man. This is probably going to be at least a 2-stream event to work on this. But yeah, I got to cover up the entire bottom, too. I think I did that. I want to say I did that off-stream. But maybe not. Maybe not. I really pack a lot of stuff in here. Really pack a lot of stuff in here. Okay. Well, this will be the docking bay, cargo bay area will be starting basically right here. This will be like the back of it with our, we'll have our thing, conveyor coming in. And then we'll have to figure out how we go from here down to there. Right, so we could have stairs coming down. I think there's plenty of room to have stairs coming down. Or we could do some sort of like circular staircase, or I could just do a ladder, honestly. Like, it doesn't really matter all that much since it's probably faster to just go out and fly around to the back, you know? I'm checking weather real quick. We had a thunderstorm just before this, and the power went out for literally a second after a lightning struck, like, very, very close to my house, but things went by. And again, ironic, because as I went back and watched that original stream, one of the first things I said in that stream was, really bad weather going on and the power might go out. So, fun times. Alright, so, looks like... you know, Game Dork, if I recall correctly, the Prometheus from Stargate was my inspiration for this. So, and it wasn't like I was going to try and make the Prometheus one-to-one. It was just like I wanted to have a, you know, just that kind of general shape, and you know, with a big bridge on top. So, at the end, I didn't know how big these side things were going to be and stuff. At the end, it doesn't look a lot like the Prometheus, but it you know, that was in my mind when I was making it. So. Let's see, I think I want this group. I think I want this thing in the corner. And then that guy there. And then did I just have another... Yeah, then just another half block or half triangle there. I think that pretty much is it. So then what are these things? Oh, not those things. What are these things? Those are probably also in this group, and they're probably this thing. So let's go here. Yep. Bloop. Bloop. Alright, let's get rid of this. Since I have the reference of how those worked, those mag plates, for the other one, I should be able to set up these mag plates as well. One thing I am going to be able to do that I intended to do, but I don't think I ever got them set up, was using broadcast controllers to tell these things to lock and unlock, you know? So when I originally designed the Go-Getter, we didn't have the broadcast controllers, and I was using like the SHART script, you know, to send signals to the base to unlock the tools when I connected to them. But we should be able to just use broadcast controllers now to do that. So I will set that up at some point. We've got a lot of space in here and various other places. There'll be a lot of space up back here. Things we can do to... or places we can fit broadcast controllers. Alright, so I think we are back to parity on the two sides there. I don't think there's anything else that looks asymmetrical at the moment, other than this thing. So let's think then about. Let me think about what the bottom of this is going to look like, and then, you know, what the shape of the bottom is going to look like, and then that'll kind of run into the back here. So I think the plan was to take this same basic shape here. Boy, look at me having unwelded blocks. There we go. Take the same basic shape here and take it back. Wrong group there. And I think I was going... Yeah, it looks like every 2 or so I was switching to that pattern. I don't know if that's too many or not, but if we did... yeah, yeah, we could still do that. It's just gonna look a little weird. So that's just one of the... Oh, you know what? That is a half block. Okay. That's going to look a little weird right here just because I can't go up in there, but that's okay. We'll just put a half block there. Continues the pattern. And then covering all this, I assume I had just intended to do either flat or... Let's see. What would we do here? Like, I could leave... I mean, we're just literally covering this all up. So this is, we're going to change to a new connector type. I don't know which way. I guess it doesn't matter because we're going to cover it up. So we could do that. I could put more than one. Might as well, right? Because we could... you never know how many you might need. We could dock and have people dock in multiple places wherever it makes sense. There's also... ports on the sides here, which I think I'm going to leave like that because I think those look okay there. And then we've got this additional dock way over here, which we probably don't need, but why did I have a sorter there? Was I dumping things? What is that sorter for? Stone sorter. I'm assuming that's what this is. So this was for... oh, this was probably for if the... Maybe I'll leave it. Maybe I'll actually leave that like that. Because we have plenty of docks over here then, and I could just leave one as the ejection sorter ejection thing. Yeah, why not? I think that was for if the go-getter came back with a bunch of stone in it for some reason. Although the go-getter really has its own ejection system, so I don't know why. I don't remember what I was doing that necessitated that. I don't think I ever had a drill on... Did I have a drill on this ship? I don't think so. I do remember potentially at some point sneaking some things down in this area too. This was like my little hiding area. You know, I can come here and just kind of relax. Headlights off. You know. Crouch down. Enjoy a nice book. Maybe I should put a TV in here or something. For fun. Just as a little Easter egg. I clearly was not ejecting gravel because I have gravel on board. I think the gravel was there so I could make reactor components. Something needs gravel. I don't remember, but I don't remember why I was... Somebody go watch the entirety of Distant Stars real quick and tell me why I was ejecting stone. I don't think we need this anymore. I think the point is we could just not have that. There we go. We could just not have that. So if the... I mean, honestly, at this point, do I need to come out of here, or could I come out of right here into the... Okay, let me finish doing this. Oh, I didn't turn mirroring back on. That's kind of annoying. There we go. Let me just do the... I didn't do much, so... Where were the half blocks at, right? Then the... There they are. Come on. There's a weird lag. Never had lag on a single player server before. Okay. Yeah, I thought so, but why was I getting stone? Was I mining the asteroid directly with this ship? Because I could see that. I just don't remember doing that. Just don't remember doing that. Okay, so I think for this middle part, I was probably intending for this to be solid along there, or at least with the old connectors, I probably intended for there to be like a little dip right there, but that's okay. We'll just leave them like this. And then in here, where these are, where the thrusters are, what did I do up here? I think I just left those empty on one side. Can't do that on the bottom. I think I probably... Oh no, I did full blocks all the way. Well, what I think I will do is abruptly transition to these things. Abruptly transition or not? Let's not abruptly transition. Let's do a less abrupt transition like... Oh, that doesn't... that's true. Then I can't put that there. Abrupt transition it is. Oh, I guess I could do the transition right here. That'd be okay. Then we could do... And then transition back. And then... do I want to make this look more interesting here, or is that kind of good enough? I actually think it's probably good enough. It's not a huge space. Let me get this cube out of the way. Oh, that's probably right. We were probably just being like, just get the go-getter back to the ship and offload everything, and then let the Eagle 1 or the Eagle 5 dump out all the stuff. That's probably true. All right, so I think this is okay here. This doesn't really need to be super exciting right there, because we'll maybe do something different as we start to transition into the back part here. So this is how far back we need to go in order to not have the thrusters be blasting a hole in it when it's flying. I believe we did the math on that. So it doesn't necessarily mean it needs to stick out that far. That was just my guide for how far back we needed to go. So, but I do think we need, you know, if we're going to go back this far, we could just put another refinery in and have a 3 refinery ship. This thing would be a mobile refinery beast. And then we would basically, so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we could basically start our, you know, I think we're going to need the back to be a little bit wider, right? Like it can't just be this thin all the way back. And I don't really know what I would put right in here, unless we had like a really thin ship, you know, that fit within 3 blocks, and we could go in the big hangar area and then kind of like back it in, and it would kind of like dock up right here. I mean, actually the go-getter would probably fit right there. Let me go get the go-getter and see. I'm almost positive it's less than 3. There we go. Jeez. Almost positive it's less than 3 blocks wide, but let's see. This thing's a little touchy here. Hold on. Take those gyros down a little bit here. So if we were to do that, I mean, there's no... Yeah, it would technically fit. I mean, it'd be a really tight fit. It would be a really tight fit to do that. But it would technically fit. Like, we could do that. I don't think I would want to do that. We could expand that out with half blocks. Give me a little bit more room, but I don't think I'd necessarily want to use that space for that. So yeah, maybe we'll put in another refinery and just have a 3 refinery deal. The nice thing about this attachment is that this attachment you could actually put anywhere because it's got its own magnets. So, all right. You ever attach magnets to magnets in Space Engineers? Nothing surprising happens when you do that, which I guess in and of itself is kind of surprising. Refinery. What? I was clearly putting power on these. Probably because I was in survival and really, really needed to conserve power, but we don't necessarily need to do that. Oh, well, there goes that entire refinery, so not what I meant to do. Oh, there was, hang on. Yield module on here. Oh, good. Does this also have yield? I guess that's what I was doing then. My bad. Let's... Oh, there's a space right here, too. Oh, that's where I was stuffing additional event controllers and stuff. That's fine. Maybe I could put another... Should just put another battery in there. Couldn't hurt. Let's make sure it's facing the same direction, you know. Alright, so, are you... You're not part of the grid anymore. You are. So, let me get... modules. Let's get these back. And undo what I have done. Oh. Oh, that's why that deleted it, because of the mirroring. Okay. And we'll do power and yield. I think that'll be okay. I guess I was going this way with it. We'll do power and yield and a... Where are you? Put my refinery back here. Come on. And I guess I was going this way with it, huh? I'm gonna be... Can I push you forward a little? There we go. Alright, that way. That's the spot right there. Get in there. Okay. So if we wanted to do another one, I could alternate them. I feel like it would make more sense to just keep going this way. So that does match up. Then we'll do yield, yield. Power, power. And there we go. So now we have a 3 refinery setup, and we could still use this area for walking down. And then basically our... I'm going to do this. I know it's not going to work on the other side, but... There we go. We can use this as our... Oh, never mind. Alright. Actually, since we are in creative, I could do a even more scientific test here real quick. Let me make this thing a station. Then we're gonna... Oops, went the wrong way. We're going to turn one of these on full blast and see... And see... There we go. Okay. Where do we actually... Thrusters can damage my own grid, right? No. This seems like a problem. Does this only damage the grid when it's in station mode? Or when it's, I'm sorry, in ship mode? I am pretty sure that the world settings do say that thruster damage is on, but I'm wondering if it's because it's in creative. Because this seems, you know, less than ideal. So, get rid of you. Well, it seems like potentially we are one back, and we could maybe even go to here. We can tell if I pull out a thruster. If I pull out one of these thrusters here, and then turn on, let's flip you around to the correct direction, and then turn on build info here, we should be able to see. Hang on. Let's see. Can I push you back a little bit more? There we go. Okay, so it looks like right there, yeah, we're in the yellow zone for damage, which means even where I had it potentially could have taken damage, but part of the reason that I built that thing out there was to make sure that you know, because I used the thrusters on it. So, you know, in other words, I fly the ship, so the thrusters have fired and have not destroyed blocks at this row. So we'll keep with that row, just to make sure. And we don't need this on anymore. All right. I don't feel like dealing with this, so I'm just going to weld these all up by hand. There we go, and we thought there would be no hand welding going on. Alright, so perhaps actually maybe what we want right here, like let's say this is the back wall of our cargo, you know, the hangar bay, basically. Hangar cargo bay type deal. You know, this is our back wall. And then we'll have piping coming through the floor level is here. All right, so this is how far down we go. I don't know how far we're going to stick out. I kind of want to stick out. I kind of want to go back far enough that we have room where we could make like we, you know, a little workshop area. Like we could be working on building a ship or something. So yeah, not a huge ship, but also an area big enough where you could like maybe dock 2 ships in it or something like that. You know, side by side. In case we wanted to have like some fighters just docked inside the ship, instead of having them necessarily docked on the wings or whatever. And I'm saying we because I'm thinking like I could use this in the Designated Survivors series or something like that. Like we could build this as one of our spaceships. I would not use this ship against the Factorum for sure, but I do want it to have weaponry because we may take it into combat against like cargo ships or something as part of a fleet of ships. So I do intend to have weapons on it and probably what would you call them, custom turrets like these. You know, all of our real turrets are 3x3, so I might just replace this with like a custom turret on each side, which then I would have to kind of blueprint separately and bring into the world. So, but that's okay. We could deal with that. But then I would have really solid coverage, you know, multiple barrels on each wing here, and then we'll figure out another place where we can put some more actual weapons. So I might dedicate some of the roof to weaponry. Maybe actually this front one here maybe should become, actually that one, that would kind of make the thrusters a bit of a target. Maybe one of these back ones or something right here. You know, I could go down from like right here. Maybe we could put a weapon on the bottom here or something. You know. Or, you know, these things have extra ports coming out. We could run piping to anywhere and put extra weaponry on the bottom. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm thinking maybe I would like to have some assault cannons on it, but it really should have a lot of point defense, is my thinking. But, well, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe if we're going to have all these docking ports on the bottom, as well as a hangar bay, maybe this on the side actually, this changes from a dock to a, some turret of some sort. I think actually that's a pretty good idea. We put some sort of turret here. Maybe we put the... I don't think assault cannons would look good right there. But turrets would. Gatling turrets would. So maybe we put Gatling turrets there. I'll have to change these little wing bits a little bit. But we'll put Gatling turrets on the side. Custom turrets on the top. Or I could do assault cannons right here, actually, because we could... Like, I can't do it right now because this is here. I do want to have a custom turret on here somewhere, but I guess I'm making a lot of work for myself if I put a ton of custom turrets all over the place. Let me distract myself for a minute and think about replacing some bits here. I think what we would end up doing is getting rid of all that and then going like... Let's get a group of you in there. Where's the new one? Right there. That will look good. Right there. And then to fill this in... We'll do this. This is the thing that I kept putting off the first time, which eventually led to the demise of the ship, so I feel like probably should not keep putting it off. Yeah, there we go. This light being right there looks weird. Actually, maybe instead of that, like that, we should actually go the opposite direction. Should we do something like this? And then have it be kind of carved out in there? I mean, obviously it is carved out, you know. We could also thin up these. I liked how these went out an additional block here, but it doesn't really serve any purpose other than sticking out. I guess we could make this flat and bring it in. Yeah, because I don't really know what would this look like if we took this to its logical conclusion here. If we went like that and then just had this be like a weird looking cutout in there. Like I can't do anything else in that space, right? Kind of looks a little weird. The other option that I was thinking then is sticking with the half blocks like this, and then having that just kind of end. You know, we do the this thing here like this, and then that would just kind of be the carve out there. But yeah, I don't like that either. So okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Let's get nuts. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Get rid of all this. Get rid of these lights, which are doing most of the heavy lifting on making the ship look blue. We'll come back to that. Yep, get rid of these lights. We'll add the blue lights back in later. Very good, Rumble Strip. Talk to you later. All right. So then, what if we kept that like that, and then did... what if we just didn't have the little flaps? You know? Like, what if we just didn't have those, Now I'm realizing I didn't need to delete all that stuff. But what if we just didn't have the flaps? You know, those little armor panel-y deals that were sticking up, you know? Then we could just do... We could do this, or we could do... if we did like this and this, we could still maybe technically do those. I don't know, I gotta piece this out here in my head. And by my head, I mean within the game world. Yeah? Yeah? I like that a lot better. We could still paint that end blue if we wanted to. Or whatever color we choose. I think that ends up looking a lot better. Given the circumstances. Yes. Yes, I like that. Alright. I do want to work on that ductwork that's holding these things on. So I feel like the catwalk was a good idea, except that it is a little bit fragile. So... And actually, it is possible that I may disconnect large chunks of the ship by trying to take... Well, I definitely am going to have to replace the turret if I take those out and try to do armored conveyors instead. I liked the look of this. Oh, you know what? Look at that. That's... I don't know if you could see that. That's a cross. That one's holding the... Yeah. So there's a cross pipe right there. Yoink. That's holding this on so that I didn't have to have just like one single attachment point running all the way out to here. Which means that we could... We're getting rid of the fireworks. Yeah. So I'm actually thinking I might replace this entirely with armored conveyors. And then... it's going to be off-center still, but that's okay. We'll put our big artillery turrets right there. What's that going to look like on the other side? Do we have the room to have it on the other side? I don't think so. I do not think so. Because it would be, like, right where these are sticking out. And I can't really make those go any... I mean, we could move this entire thing one block in, but I'm pretty sure I already spent a lot of time moving this thing out by one block on stream. And I want to respect past Duke and his decision to have this thing exactly where it is. So we will not have a big artillery under each wing, but we could still have artillery on the bottom. Let's see, I don't really have a good way to keep this here. So, goodbye. All of this piping will go. Did I just accidentally delete something that was underneath? Oh wait, did I not delete the other side? Yeah, I disconnected a bunch of stuff on this side. Probably go clean that up before this is a problem for me. Okay. That looks better. So that's good. That gives me a little bit more flexibility to add some more. Actually, we could put two. As long as we're making this thing heavily armored, we could put two. That's a T-junction. But, like, we could do... We could have one here. Let me think this through. And then we had 1, 2 here. We could have two next to each other. Then they would look slightly centered. And it would actually fit and not block anything, which is crazy. I didn't separate this flying wing thing, did I? What is holding this on? Wait a second. It's still part of the grid. Oh, because this was I made this a station. Oh, thank God. I think I would have separated these wings off. Yeah, I think I separated... I would have... If this had been a ship still, I would have separated these off. It's just because it's a station then, and I was using local grid that I was able to reconnect them. Whew, that would have been a big deal. Right, because if I do that... Oops. If I do that... Uh-oh. Oh, that's the thing. That still did it over there, right? Yep. Okay. So. That's good. Lucked out there. That would have been a pain. I would have had to copy and paste a bunch of things. Large grid, please. Large grid. Thank you. Alright, let's do... reinforced. Let's make it visible. Let's make it cool looking on the top. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so what are the... Where did I put the turret at? Did I get rid of the turret already? Oh, here it is. Okay, so we're going to put our turret back on the side there. Now, up top, we can do the assault cannon or the artillery turret. Now, I'm thinking assault cannon is probably better for the engagement ranges that I'm intending to be dealing with, because what are these? These are the slightly faster... Oops. Yeah, here we go. So, what's the information I'm looking for here? Pitch is negative 20 to 75. This pitch is negative 76 to 90. That's a... I'm looking at the wrong thing. There we go. Negative 15 to 60. Yeah. 22 degrees per second, 11 degrees per second. Yeah, and slightly better precision, better rate of fire, and I assume they're basically the same range. Yeah, they're both 800. Yeah, this is going to be better for the types of engagements that I intend to be in with this ship, so we will do that. These, unless we did one of each. No, I don't think so. Then I got to maintain a whole bunch of extra stuff. They're 1400 with the defense, with the AI defense thing, right? The defense block, because they're 800 just on their normal, on their own individual AI, right? But if you have the defense block, they'll shoot even further. Ajir. Ajir has a video in the works, everybody, so please go over to Ajir's channel and subscribe and watch that video when it comes out. Firing tange. I gotcha. I get you. I'm looking forward to watching your video and then taking apart my ship because I realized I did everything wrong. That looks good. That looks good there. Okay. I'm satisfied with that for now. I guess I could... This front just kind of begs for a, what do you call it? Railgun shooting out the center there. It really does. I don't think I really want to put a railgun in the center, but boy, it sure does look like one belongs there, doesn't it? Are you allowed to promote? Everybody can promote on my channel as long as it's something relevant. I do have one of those weird promotion channels on my Discord too, if anybody wants to promote their stuff in there. Yeah, I'm hoping you're watching this stream and just making notes of like, okay, Duke needs to be educated on this. Duke needs to be educated on this. So make sure all those things get into your video. Okay, now I have no choice but to consider replacing my TV viewing room with a... oh, this is the turrets group. Hang on. Let me put these over here where I was really intending turrets to be. Turrets go there, and then... where's the other group? These things. Here we go. So, here we go. Alright. You do have one on the back. We could... we could jam one in there. We could jam one in there. It would stick out... Where's the edge of that cargo container? So it's one, excuse me, it's one back from there, so it would sit that far forward if we put it in. And then I could just take this entire shape and move it forward. Well, that's good. Airgath is a good source for that. See, I kind of liked how it was kind of tucked in like that. I don't think... I mean, there's nothing in this space, but then it really would just kind of stick out really far. I'm putting them on there like that for a second. How far would it stick out? Like that? But in the center. Yeah, imagine it in the center. Would be nice to have a railgun. I could push this front part forward a bit to try to cover that up. I don't need to cover it up too much. All right, let's get distracted again and do this. So if we do this, we put our railgun right there. What is the role of this ship is whatever I want to do at any given moment. But it's probably going to be more of like a fighter launch platform. For the most part. Mobile refinery. I mean, it's the everything ship, you know. But I may want to engage something at long range. But also it's the ship that I don't want to take into direct combat. It's the ship I want to be able to defend itself if I get into direct combat. But not necessarily something I plan to take into combat on purpose. You know, we will build, and I'm talking about like, you know, thinking about like designated survivors, essentially. Like when we go to attack cargo ships and Factorum and stuff, like we will build different, more disposable combat ships for those things. Like this is kind of intended to be the mobile staging platform that stays out of combat unless it should defend itself, but isn't intended for direct assault. So I think I hear what you're saying, which is that it does not need a railgun at the front, and that we should use something. We'll make something else that has a railgun on it. Thank you for talking me through that. Now, how did I do this? How did I have this? I think that was there. That was there, and then we just did... I think we just did this, right? Yeah. Yeah, that way I could still sneak in here if I need to. Yeah. Hide from the bad guys. Yeah. All right, good. So that will stay as is. I do want to add more, like, Gatling turrets for point defense. And I think I'm probably just going to end up putting them, like, on the top of the bridge and then some underneath. That'll be about it. So, oh, you know what else? This thing probably needs another jump drive. Oh, you know what? This thing doesn't have its... I added a second jump drive. Where is the first jump drive, actually? It's in here somewhere. Let me double check I didn't lose the jump drive at some point. Okay, yeah, jump drive is still there. I don't know, where is it, where is it hiding? It's nearby. Okay, so it's in the middle. Oh yeah, it's basically right, yeah, there it is. Okay. There it is. Alright, it's right underneath the bridge. I believe, if I recall from watching the old stream, I stuck another one like right here, and I don't remember if... I guess I would have had to keep these pipes because there's no other way up to the main part of the bridge. So I guess I stuck it right on the end here. So let's... Yeah, because this thing needs more than one jump drive. I could try and leave space for a prototype jump drive, but we're so far away from that inevitability. But alright, so if we did that there, and actually, let's think that through, because we're gonna walk out. If that's our way down, I was actually thinking of putting another cargo right here. But one thing we could maybe do is, could we do it this way? That's going to block my hallway, isn't it? I would need to go back one to give my... Actually, you know what? Let's do that. Hang on. Let's just go back one. And then... we could do that. Then that'll get covered up with armor for the most part. We could maybe leave like an opening to see the... I always like to see the center part, you know. But that'll give me a space where we could come through corridor to here, and then maybe... Oh, that would actually look really cool if we came through and we walked down between these, and then we're in the cargo bay. Oh, man, that'd be cool. So, in this space here, though... now I'm realizing the folly of my ways. Okay. Bloop. Bloop. There we go. That's better. That way I can, right here, go. Hang on. This will all make sense in a moment. Big old cargo. Right there. So... now it's going to be my way down. Okay, that's... oh, you know what? Also, I probably... oh, why did that look like that was thrusting? That was weird. I'm seeing things. If we have... if we did... okay, I think I might need to actually get some corridor blocks here. I guess not the round ones, because those are kind of weird, but... let's grab this one and see. So if we had corridor here, and then... I should probably put one with a light in it, but... let's not mirror you. Corridor. Corridor. Alright, that goes like that. Okay. So we go there, and now we're in the center line. turn this back on. If we did, let's see. We could do... let's see. Once we're at... If we did stairs, we would be here. We would be at this level, and if we did another stair, we'd be down. Let me do this right real quick here. So pretend these are stairs. We did stairs there. And then we could go forward over the cargo, and then you could kind of walk down. I'm just trying to map out how this would, you know, if we did, and then you could turn. Oops. Oh. That's, does that put me back in there? Yeah, buddy. We would then have to turn. Oh my god. It's all sideways. Alright, and then we would be entering into this room. So that is a long path to take, and also would need to be even one forward from there. There's a lot of stairs coming down, like, inside of a wall, essentially. Because this this needs to be the wall. So we would be coming down, we would, like, enter up at the top, and then we'd come down all these stairs on the side. Or, just like a back and forth staircase right there. Alternatively, we could go... I'm wondering if I like this idea better or not. I don't know why I'm not just using actual stairs for this, but we could go stairs. Then what would we do? So no, we can't do that. Because there's a jump drive in the way. These jump drives don't need to be here, technically. I mean, they could literally go anywhere. I could even move them out by one. So we have 3 in the middle. How would that go if we did that? Like if we did that. Oh, what happened here? Oh, because the ship is there. Let me get this guy out of here. Can I just cut you? There we go. Okay. Get rid of you. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so if we did it that way, then we might be able to... Let's see, I'm going to have to scaffold some things out here. So we would go stairs, platform, stairs, corridor. Let's see, where's my corridor at? Corridor, and then stairs, 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 and stairs. And now you're in the room. Yeah, and you could go either way. Is that better? Is that better, or is that just more convoluted way of going? I wish we had double height corridors with like stairs built in or a ramp or something, but like, so you're in the bridge of the ship, right? You want to go into the back, you go this way around a little corner, you go down here. This will be more enclosed, you know, but still, I guess there might be some wall here, or at the very least there'll be wall over there. You come in, you go down this way. This is going to be wall on the side. Maybe we'll put windows there or something. Come down this way, and now you're outside of the gravity range, apparently. You come down this way, and now you're in the, you know, the back of the ship area. That might be okay. I mean, you got nice cargo access right there. You get, we could do something nice, some sort of windows or like portholes or something on the side here. Because I'm going to have to go out at least one layer to armor over the jump drives. So yeah, we could do something with that. And then that would mean we'd still have our... I'm actually thinking this is probably a good... We'll shape this up better, but this is probably a good... we could do something to curve this in here. Good night, Ajir. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. Yeah, let me do actual stairs here and see how this ends up looking. And what would we put underneath the stairs? Just armor block? Or actually maybe instead of, well, yeah, this part down here is going to be mostly open. Although we might kind of expand out and around here. I kind of have a good idea for how to shape that, but it's going to be kind of weird. So I might put maybe some interior blocks underneath it. Like just something interesting so that when you're looking down from the stairs, you're seeing like... So that would be stairs, stairs. Yeah, you're seeing something, basically. Let's throw my stair right there. Yep, what did I just do? There we go. Alright, and then we'll have to figure out however we enclose this. We'll probably put a light here. This will be really cool with these things glowing in a room. And then we go down. We'll probably have to just take like some interior blocks doing something interesting here. And oh, you know what we could do? We could use these here, like this, to kind of block this off. Or maybe like that. And do a half block in the middle. Just to connect it. You know, so you'll come in, you'll have that there. Then behind this, I should have done this in a different order, realizing. We could, let's see, is there something cool on the back of this? Do it where it's not flickering. Let's see, we got that light. I kind of like the one that has this right there. So let me go around and shove this in here. Like that. Or, if we really want some... Well, I guess there's going to be plenty of room for ceiling lighting it back here. I was going to say, I could put an inset light right there, but I think that'll be okay. Like that. You're going to kind of see through the cracks, but that's okay. And there's still space to put stuff behind it, which is cool. So it'll come in. This is going to have to be like... where was... We'll do the same pattern on the opposite side. Let's see. Where's that thing? Here we go. And we could do a... what's it called? Porthole? This thing? Do I want you to be able to look forward? Because what are you going to see there? I don't know that you're actually going to see anything through there. Unless we did... Unless this was... Ooh. Well, that's awkward. Unless we... Okay, so like let's assume this is the back wall of our... Okay, this is the... Yeah, maybe we got pipes coming in from here or whatever, but this is like the back wall of our landing bay, right? I'm gonna leave a hole there so I know where the pipe is. Pretty big bay. And we'll be able to have... this actually works out really well if this is the top of the actual room, because then we could have two... Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4... Yeah, we could have the gates. You know, the hangar doors. You could have the hangar doors. Actually... No, that does not work out. Good. Because I would probably want the hangar doors to be right here. So we would go 1, 2, 1, 2, and then... So then the hangar doors would attach to at this level, which actually works out better. And that doesn't feel like it gives an additionally massive footprint to the back, especially if we can kind of curve this a little bit in. I think this will be good. So what I'm getting at is this is the roof. I don't know how far we're going to go out on the roof, but I'm going to just put a block at. Let's say this is the roof, right? You're coming in. Here we go. Land here. We'll put some lights in this hallway. But you come in here, you look through there. Even if I left a hole right there, or like some windows. Well, actually, now if we put some windows right there, we'd be able, if the door was open. Actually, I don't even know. Hold on. Let's just go and actually do this real quick. I want to know what you'll see if we were to... How far out do we have to go here? If I want this to be my massive hangar in the back here. There we go. So if we had that, right? And let's assume that our hangar doors are open. And we could even pretend that these are the open hangar doors hanging down. You know, the part that the thing retracts into. So if we were to leave... Oops. Where did I just put a block? Here? No. There's a random stray block somewhere and I don't know where. So if we were to maybe leave that much space open right there. Right? And this will be covered over on top here somehow. Yeah, we could put a light in there or something, but, you know, this will all be kind of covered over. So you go... oh, well, now I'm in the wrong spot here. Hang on. Should probably make like an access hatch to get into that area down there. Just in case I need to work in there or something. Gravity's not here. There we go. Okay, so we come down. We look out here. We are, even when the doors are open, we are barely going to see anything. So, I don't feel like a porthole is a good use of space there unless we put something interesting to look at right here. And actually, what are we even going to put right here? Good question. Now that I think about it. What will we put right here? Let's take a look at things. What could we put right there that might be interesting? Let's look at our decorative blocks first. Maybe there's put a bathroom there. We could write like E5, Eagle 5, maybe. So when you come down, you see the words Eagle 5. I could put an emotion controller on the backside. I think you would just... Okay, hang on a second. This is going to be funny. This might be funny. Hang on. If we were to put... And I can't see which way it's facing. If we were to put an emotion controller right up to it. And then... I don't even know if that's the right way up. Hang on. I think it is. Yeah. We were to put an emotion controller right there and tell it that I wanted to see happy. Okay. I might just keep that there. I might just keep that there. I kind of like it. Or, let's see, is there a control panel nearby? Yeah. There we go. I've found a solution to the problem. Yep. Yep. Oh, there's the stray blocks. That's where they went. So these are supposed to be half block, and then these were going to be the... Just fill that in like that. Or even up top, we could do the other one with the little thing sticking out. We'll probably do the same thing on this side, huh? Even though that's the space you're walking in, but then that will, I don't really have a good reason for why that would be like that. What's the scaffolding situation like here? We got a half block. We have a half block without, yeah, this thing. Can you walk through this? If I just did... Oh, I can't do that because there's a half block right there. I was gonna try and extend down from this, but yeah, that would not work. We wouldn't be able to do that. Okay, never mind. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that right there. It's creepy enough. I like it. This area is not intended to be airtight. Really, none of this ship is intended to be airtight. So I'm okay with you seeing back there. And I think it's just a big old wall, isn't it? If we were to put windows on the side here, like a porthole for you to look out, you would see a big old wall and like a whole lot of nothing. basically. It's not the worst idea, but... So, we're kind of risking this room becoming just a big rectangle. Just a big box. And I'm okay with that at first, but we will need to make that look a little bit better. I do think the size of it is decent, though. Like, if that's our opening right there, you know, imagine that we're going to replace these with hanger doors, and then this will be our opening. And you could come in and dock up. Yeah, maybe we could put a dock in the floor or in the walls here, because we could still get piping to pretty much anywhere, because we have this right here, and we could put armored pipes down through the floor, anywhere we want. So, yeah. So I think we have the ability to do... Let's get some more light going here. Pretty sure the sun moves in this world, right? Is it no longer... Yeah, it's way over there now. That's okay. So even though that's like that, I'm pretty sure we can still do something like... No. Something like that there, and we will not get smoked. We should be okay with that, because I think most of, if anything, like this is the block we really need to worry about. This should be okay here, and then these are in the clear. So we can still kind of curve that around. And then this end, we could do similar type deal and do, yeah. Something like that. And I kind of liked the look I had going on a different part of the ship on the back of the bridge up there, where every time I look up and I see that Factorum signal, I get a flashback to being on the server and like panicking that somebody is about to attack me. So we could do that. And then that gives us like we could vary this a little bit too to give it a little bit of something something, but this gives us a half block wall that I could put portholes or whatever I want in there. I think this bottom one, let's continue this shape here and figure out how this is going to factor into and how I want this to go. So I think we want this to be out, but it doesn't have to be far out. Like it could just be that right there, and then we could maybe armor panel on this, or we could half block over parts of it. Hang on one second. Do a thing real quick. There we go. Yeah, we could do that. But either way, that's... I don't want to stick out too far on the top here, because I still need to scooch my ship in here and attach it. And actually, we're already getting kind of tight there. I didn't even think about that. So maybe this part should be more like this thing. We just do a clean slope there and try to just avoid making this stick out much further. I think a half slope up here would be okay. Like if we had to go out a half slope, I think we're up high enough. We just have to really maneuver the go-getter back in here well. I mean, the other option is actually like move these things so that they're like on the side right here or something like that, and not their own little thing sticking up, and then the go-getter could just clunk right onto the side. These just looked more out of the way, you know? They look like, you know, from the front, you know, it kind of just looks like it's part of the ship. You know, you don't, if they're sticking out of the side, it would just kind of look like stuff is stuck to the ship, so. But I like where this is going, at the very least, because it gives us a little bit of a... And then at the same time here, we could change this up a little bit. Like, we could do... you know, we could do a row of that, and then go back to those. We could even actually maybe before we do that, we plan on no, I want to keep, yeah, never mind. I want to keep these here because of the thruster. So, like, just these two rows need to be like that. But we could go, let's see, if we did a porthole type deal right here, but we did it like upside down, like that. Can I scooch in here? How does that look coming down the stairs? That's like, you come down. Yeah, that's perfect right there. And you could kind of look out as you're coming down the stairs. Our warning sign is upside down, but I don't really care. Yeah, I like that. So we'll do that. Excuse me, pardon me. Excuse me, thank you. We'll do that, and then right here we could transition into that somehow, either like this or with the other. There's another one that does this, right? This? No. That one transitions into that. So, yeah, I guess that was the one that oh, this one. That's the one I'm looking for. There we go. So we could do that, and then to cover that up right there, we'll do... what if we just do that and leave it kind of half open like that? Okay, what does that give me for options right here? Do I have options? Do I have options for you now? If we were to do... yeah, there's options. There's this thing right there. There we go. We could do something like that. And then that thing kind of being open there just becomes a little detail. Right? An extra little greeble that kind of sticks out. Yeah, I think we could cover that if we wanted to. I think we could use, isn't it this thing? Like, we could use that thing to cover it, but I don't like that because then the angles get kind of weird. Like, it makes sense, but I don't like it. So back to this one. We could also change what this block is too. What is it on... What is that showing on the other side? Was that the pipes? I guess we're showing pipes on the inside, right? Can you not even see that block? Oh yeah, it was supposed to be so that when you looked down, you saw that, but you can't see nothing through there, so... Let's take that block out and put... just armor behind it, because it's not doing nothing. There we go. That looks better. That looks real good. I actually kind of like that you could see the cargo bay through there, the cargo thing. So up top here, we can now, if we wanted, start to really shape that out. I don't know why I did that one like that, but I like it. So this could start to actually go... Ooh, maybe we actually should do that instead. Hang on. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So then, what am I going to do right here? I want to kind of start to expand out and make this a bit thicker. Oh, do I have a block for that? I don't know that I do. Let's see. Oh, maybe I do. Maybe this is it right here. Oh, no, it's not. That's not what I want. Yeah, I don't think I have a block. I don't think there is a block for that. But that's okay. We could do this and then just flow straight into a... Yeah, and then we'll have to just... we could use some of the space for, like, interior lighting if we want, but it is... Let's see, the fact that you can just kind of see up there is not great. I don't want to necessarily fill this whole space, but I guess we're going to end up... So maybe we do a inset light in the hallway here. Then I won't need my lights anymore. We'll adjust the lighting at some point. I should probably do the same thing right here. Maybe we'll just try to get it to... We'll make it real dim when we actually set it up, but it'll... Oh, that's actually really cool then with those... Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that. But that looks really cool like that with those things kind of holding it. That worked out well. We'll make this kind of nice and dim because the glowing from this is going to be a part of what lights up in here. Then we'll come down, we'll have our porthole. And then I kind of feel like we just... we don't really actually... Hang on a second. I'm trying to save on, you know, unnecessary armor blocks. But if we went down one like this, put our inset light here. Oh, it's like right in your face, isn't it? Then we wouldn't need to block off everything up there. We could just do like another thing right there, and then, you know, something like that, and then we're basically down here. I am going to punch another hole. I'm going to punch this gravity. Punch another hole right there so I can see where that is, because I'm going to put interior piping along here. I think that actually will look okay. Hang on. Yeah, actually looks okay. Let me check the other side, because that's a... There's nothing on the other side. Why is that? Did we not want to? Was that what happened? Alright. That looks okay there. That looks okay. Kind of don't like the immediate drop-off, but that's the best way to kind of cut that off right there, so I think that's okay. And we go down, we go down. It's all sealed off there, and then we are in our bay where we will eventually have to put another grab gen or extend the range of the existing one. Then we got a pretty darn big space in here that we're going to have, which is nice. So that's starting to look good there. Just making sure it didn't get messed up on the other side there. All right, so I said I wanted to have some sort of a access port to get into here, and I might need another one to get no, that's all just going to get filled up. Oh, you know, up into here, because we might end up putting some, I mean, I could put a lot of things up in here. We could put all sorts of broadcast controllers and everything, programmable blocks. Like, it's like a little server room. So here's what I'm going to do. Doors. I am probably going to put these narrow hall doors. That's what I'm thinking. Like, which way is up? This way? Does it matter? Is there anything on here to indicate which way is up? Doesn't look like it. So I think we're going to do... what am I going to do with these jump drives? Are they going to go... Because I could do this. There. This part doesn't really matter. It's just going to be... I think this is going to... Actually, no. Let's leave that off for now, because that might... I might do something different there. But we can... I was thinking this through the wrong way. Man, and I already spent so much time. Oh, you know what? This shape doesn't matter what's above it, because it's a weird... Wait a second. Didn't I plug that hole? Hang on. Didn't I plug that hole on this side? That weird little... Oh, no, I didn't. Okay. Oh, maybe I thought I did with this thing. Wait. What hole am I talking about here? Why is there a hole? Oh, yeah, right there. Okay. Yeah, I mean, well, heck, I could just do that. Plug the hole. Okay, so this row here, if we're thinking we're probably going to be sticking out a half armor block at this point. Like this. Then this really should be different. This really should be different. So... we'd be looking at not a full block. We'd be looking at something more like this, followed by that. Yeah, there we go. So that gives me what I'm looking for here. And then I can Many thoughts that I'm having right now. I don't think there is a block that does... Oh no, this might be the block that does what I want. Oh, okay, I know there is a configuration that kind of does what I want. It is that, And then... Oh, you know what we could use for this? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. One of these guys. Right there. One of those guys. Because now we can put that door back. Where did I put the door? Where did I put the door? We put the door back like this. Okay. You with me? Throw one of these things on the side there. And then somehow plug this up there. But you get a nice little landing spot. Then you could open it up and walk in here and fall down a hole. You know, like this is a jetpacks only area, so. Okay, so how do I want to cover this up? We could do the thing that works perfectly to cover it up, I guess. That would, yeah, I guess that would be that. All right, so that's kind of shaped in there. This looks a little bit weird, but I think it's kind of necessary to have like a little landing platform for you to walk onto. Otherwise, it's hard to jetpack through slim doors like that. I wonder if there's a way... I was going to say, I wonder if there's a way to make... I'm not going to worry about it. So here, we're going to want... I think we are going to want that one block that I like to use real sparingly right there. And then... I want... I really, really want to leave a lot of room for that thing. If possible. So we could go like this. That's where I wanted to put the door, right? The other door. So we could go put it like this, right there. No, I had it right. Put it like that. And then, yeah, this part here is just that. Well, now this looks weird and I don't like it, so. Maybe we will just do that. Oh, that I like even less. Now it just looks like this thing is bursting out, and I don't like that at all. Oh, boy, I really don't want to move these jump drives now. They're kind of integral to the situation. Although we are at a good spot where I feel like these things could actually move to another location. Like we could put them on the very back here. You know, like we could put them over here. I think that's what we're going to do, is just rethink this whole situation right there. I'm going to leave this because it kind of looks cool like that. I'm going to leave that shape there. We're going to rethink how these things are connected later. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Something like that. Yeah, this gives me just more room to play over here, and we could just put these things probably the exact same thing. We'll just put them right here. And then I've got plenty of room to fly around, and it's okay if they're just hanging out the back there. That's fine. So I'm just taking a kind of a step back here, and I don't hate how this is turning out. I think it might make sense to continue with the solar panel or the like platform sticking out thing up on the side, like coming out of the side of this. We may maybe have like, because it's there's multiple layers here, right? So there's this one, and then this is a little bit higher. Then maybe we do a slightly higher one right here, and maybe it's just a weapons platform. Maybe we just put like point defense on it, top and bottom. And yeah, I think that might be a really good use of that space there. So, but yeah, this is looking good. I'm digging this. And then at the very end, we'll just kind of figure out how to take this pattern straight back and mesh it in with the back there. So then we will shape up this thing so it looks less like a box at the very back. We'll do something on the inside to also make this look less like a big flat wall. We'll probably put some beam blocks in here or something. And then I think we'll be good to go. I mean, this is definitely going to be at least one more stream of working on this ship. But I like where we're at with it. I like where we're at with it. It's really starting to feel like a formidable mobile base. Right? Like you could come back here after a fight, repair your ships. You know, we could have people like the top back here could just be designated like if we need to get away, you just get your fighter back here, landing gear, mag plate to the top, and we just jump. You know, if we're being chased by something, I don't know. You know, as opposed to even trying to get into the thing, and then, you know, we could come inside here, repair things, build new things. Yeah, I think this would be a really good mobile staging ground. That's kind of what I envisioned it as originally. So, yeah, it's looking good, guys. I think it's looking pretty good. So, I'm going to end the stream here. Let me talk about what's going on. Ooh, there's a cargo here. I should remember that's there, because I could potentially put a point defense Gatling turret on the top right from there. So I'm going to forget that, but I'll try to remember it later. So here's what's going on with the rest of my schedule. As I mentioned earlier, I am going on a 2-week vacation. I do this every summer with my family. And I will be completely unplugged, away from the internet. We're going to a cabin out in the middle of nowhere at a state park, and there's not even cell reception at the cabin. So I will be completely disconnected. And it's one of my favorite times of the year because, you know, it's the family. There's a beach. There's all sorts of fun things to do at the park. And then there are towns nearby, small towns and everything, and we'll go into town periodically and do things there, go see a movie, grab some food at a restaurant or whatever, and then get back to the cabin. We spend almost all the time at the cabin. And it's so much fun. But I will be unable to stream for the next 2 weeks, roughly. So right when I get back, the next stream... so I will stream tomorrow with Pat, assuming the Elder Scrolls Online thing is not messing with us again. It's given us a lot of trouble lately, but we're going to keep trying. That'll be the last stream before the vacation, because I'm leaving Saturday. So I will be gone. You won't hear from me at all. There will be no stream. There's no substitute content or anything. Then I'll be back, and the first stream back should be Designated Survivors on Sunday, July 13th, I believe. So, assuming that the guys are good to go with that, scheduling has been a bit of an issue, just because it's the summer and people are doing things, you know, we have all got vacations and stuff going on, so I kind of expect that Designated Survivors may get canceled or rescheduled from time to time, but we'll try and have something for you next Sunday. If they're not available, I will probably just jump back into Stellar Garage and continue working on this ship. So, yeah, so Elder Scrolls Online tomorrow. If you've been liking the stream, I didn't even at any point stop to tell people to like and subscribe. But if you're liking the stream, please consider throwing a like on the video. If you would like to get notified when I go live in the future, aka 2 weeks from now roughly, then please consider subscribing. It is, of course, free to do so. Once again, thank you everybody for watching. It's been pretty amazing. I think I've been doing this like 3 years now. It's been a pretty amazing trip, so appreciate the support from everybody. I am looking forward to being completely disconnected, and then I'm sure I will be very much looking forward to getting back to streaming when I get back. But I'm looking forward to the break, so thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great rest of your week, and have a great weekend if I don't see you tomorrow. Peace out.